My name is Mike. I'm with Removery. Who am I here with?
Brittany Renner.
Brittany, give me a backstory. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What do you do?
Well, I'm everything and nothing at the same time. I have been a social media influencer since July 2012. Instagram has been my life. And I wrote a book. I've acted in different shows. I am currently reality TV star.
2012, what was your kind of take on social media at the time? It was very different. Back then, we were taking pictures of our lunch and posting it on Instagram. How did you know this was something you wanted to do?
I didn't. When I first originally joined social media, I was into fitness heavy and I was selling fitness programs and I wanted people to see my body, and actually, my feed was private to begin with. I only accepted females because I was showing so much of my body. So I started thirst trapping before thirst trapping was thirst trapping. And so that's how I got kind of known on social media. And I never knew I was going to make a career out of it. Damn sure never thought that it was going to last this long. So yeah, that's kind of how I started. I did fitness and I wanted to help people.
What was the next step? At what point did you realize that this wasn't just fun anymore, but you could turn it into a business?
I think when the money started coming in, my first brand deal was $75,000. So it was just, and that was like in 2014. So at that time, making that type of money on social media, I think it was like a waist trainer company.
When you put yourself out on the internet like that, at any point, people are going to start scrutinizing. Were you self-confident at that point, or was it something that was a learned aspect for you?
I definitely learned along the way because I think for me, even what made me switch my profile to accepting everyone was I did a World Star video. It was a World Star candy video. And so that was kind of what put me on the map and when I started really making money and getting hostings. But I feel like social media is a beast that if you want longevity in it, you really have to do the inner work outside of social media. And I don't think anything ever prepares you for that type of light because it gets really hot under the light. So I think it's something that you constantly are having to check in with and hone in on whatever your truth is.
When did you decide to make your page public?
After that video, because I started to get a lot of requests and my Instagram started to slow down. So I think at the time I had maybe about 30,000. After I was done, I had over 100,000 followers after my World Star video. But you'd think then that was kind of basically like implied nudity and like a really sexual video. And if you got on World Star, you made it.
Yeah.
At that time.
Did you get any negative feedback or hate once some of your videos started going viral on how you looked or how you were portrayed?
Well, I think the way that I carried myself, I was always somebody who, in the beginning, I never really felt like a bad bitch. And so I was like, I'm going to fake it till I make it, and until I believe that. And I definitely feel like I leaned into this facade where it was like, I'm going to exude this type of energy because how I feel on the inside isn't really like that. So I did feel like I really wasn't being as authentic in the beginning because I was building up my confidence and I was insecure, and I got my validation from social media, to be honest.
When did the transition happen between social media and then moving into more paid gigs with reality and also some scripted stuff?
I would say 2018 is when I started doing some scripted things, and that's like I really feel like when, I don't want to say peaked, but I feel like when I was really, everything I said and did, I mean, I went on a run for a really long time because I didn't care. And I was just saying things that people were thinking, but were too afraid to, share publicly. I'm like sharing my body count and sharing all these things that people really don't even know. But I was just like, this is my truth. But yes, I think like 2018 and on is really when I started to get way more traction in.
Did you find that sometimes you were sharing things just because you knew the videos would go viral? Or was it always just your true authentic self?
I feel like I was sharing things because I wanted to liberate myself, so I feel like before thought became like a tired word. Like when it first came on the scene, everyone was calling me it. So it was one of those things where I'm like, when people tell you something enough, you start to believe it. So I think for me, it was me kind of changing and like owning, like beating people to the joke almost. So it's like, if I own my truth, you can't use it against me.
And was that internal? We talked about the internal and the external. Was that helping your internal?
It was, because I'm like, well, if I own my truth, you can't use it against me. So you can't shame me for something that I've embraced. But I feel like in real time, I was learning to embrace those things. It sounded like I embraced it and then share. It was like, this is how I'm going to say, F the system, like renegade, burn it all down, So it was just something that I was doing along the way.
How would you define your personal style?
Simple, and there's difference.
There's a kind of a trend going on right now. I'm drawing a blank. Quiet chic, where it's really well-tailored clothing, but doesn't scream brand names. It's just very well fit.
Okay.
Maybe that's where you're at.
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely on my modesty journey where, less is more. And I never used to think that because I'd have my ass cheeks out all the time. So I'm like a modest girl. I'm just the girl.
You do have tattoos.
I have 12 of them.
12. Do you remember when you were young, who was the first person you saw with a tattoo?
My aunt, and she had like an anklet, and then she had a Dallas Cowboys star on her other ankle.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you when you got it?
18.
So you waited at least until you were of age?
Yeah.
Was it like a coming of adulthood, coming of womanhood?
I was like, I'm grown up now.
Did you go alone? Did you go with friends?
I think I actually went by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the experience was like?
It's like the pain felt good. I think that's why I have so many now. It's like I wanted to feel something, and it came like therapy.
In your social circle, your friends, like the actual people in real life, were you the first person to get a tattoo? Were you the 15th person? Where were you?
I was probably the first person.
Okay. Are you typically the thought leader? Are you the ringleader?
Yeah, I'm like a war leader. I love war. I'm definitely not afraid to take chances. I'm very brave. So I'm usually the first to do something.
So now we've covered your first tattoo. What of the 12 is your favorite tattoo?
I have Maleficent right here. And then I have a quote from the Truman Show on the back of my calf. It says, "How's it going to end? How's it going to end?" And Jim Carrey replies, "I was wondering that myself." So I think those are the two that I'm like, I'm not going to part with those.
What was the inspiration for getting the quote?
Because in the movie, her pin was almost like a clue that there was something going on, like something deeper going on. And it also gave him hope, like just her in general. So I love it because I think genuinely too, like I do want to know how's it going to end.
One of the things that's kind of annoying, but also people don't know it's annoying, is they try to stop you to read it, or they'll ask you to move your foot around, or your leg around, or your hands around, or what's the meaning behind it. Have you found that with the tattoo being in a formerly visible place for you, was it something people asked you about regularly?
Yeah, like when I used to wear maybe like shorts just sitting to the airport, people would read it, and then I would turn around and be like, I was wondering that myself, So I always have fun with it. I don't mind ever really answering questions about it. That's definitely one of my favorite ones. So yeah, I love it.
Is there a tattoo that you just don't love anymore?
Yeah, the one on my ankle. So I was a huge Kanye West fan, and I love the song Stronger. And so I got Stronger on my ankle, but the tattoo artist at the time said he could basically only go up. And I wanted it kind of like wrapped around. And he's like, I can't do that. So I got it. And then when I got it, people were like, does that say stranger? And so then I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is add what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So it like goes in a circle up. I hate that one. I have one on my hip, Google Translate in Arabic. It's so ironic because I'm Muslim now, but it's the rose that grew from concrete, but it probably doesn't say that if you translate it. Yeah, and a spider on my neck.
What kind of like place were you in your life when you were choosing these tattoos?
I felt like the first one, I was trying to correct something that maybe was a bit impulsive. The one on my hip, I was going through a transformation, the rose that grew from concrete, right? And then outside the spider, I feel like internally, I always felt like the sweet little butterfly baby, but I was perceived as like this succubus bitch, Black Widow. So I felt like when I got that tattooed, it was like me being like, you know what? Sure, I am. I think that it was a way for me to express myself and where I was at that time, that phase in my life.
Has there been like public comments or discord on your tattoos and choices?
I would say maybe some people think that they're a little dark. Like I know Maleficent, that's like people have their own opinion on it. That's demonic and all these things. But Maleficent is the first character that I ever could relate to in film.
It's interesting because of all the things that we choose to adorn our bodies with, whether it's jewelry or clothing, sometimes it's shoes, one of the things that everybody has an opinion about is the other person's tattoo. And I don't know why that is. And again, with you having such visibility, I was just curious if people did kind of leak comments, positive or negative, towards any of those.
Yeah, and I have the Pisces sign here on my finger. I have 1010 here. I was definitely into numerology, astrology. I still am, just like I still keep those things with me, even though I'm just in a different direction. But yeah, people have their opinion, especially now that I'm in hijab, right? So I have like visible tattoos and different things, but I'm not ashamed of like where I was, or it's just I'm going a different place now.
And then speaking of the hijab and moving into Islam, has there been any feedback from the community regarding your tattoos?
I'm going to be honest, I really don't like to read past, on an Instagram, it's like the people you follow are at the top and then the strangers are beneath. I really don't like to go beneath there. I didn't ask. I don't care. I'm not asking for permission. So I really like to avoid comments. And most of the comments I do see are just when I'm like refreshing my notifications. I just don't. Words, no matter how strong you are or how thick your skin is, they still carry a frequency and it can still hurt you.
In your local community, in your mosque, there's no problem being accepted with your tattoos?
No, absolutely not. And I mean, I think what people fail to realize is that, like, no matter God, creator, source, universe, whatever you believe in, we'll use anybody to, be an example.
What does the future you look like?
I was wondering that myself. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the magic is in the present moment. I think for me, I do have a dream version of myself. I think for me, it's been easy to cover because I do feel more beautiful, not having to wear things that I feel that are outdated, like, tattoos when I was 18. So I think for me, it's like peaceful, powerful, both. And those are different days. And like maybe about 10 less tattoos.
We're going to start tattoo removal with you today. Tell me how you're feeling about it.
You and I had a great conversation about the new technology with tattoo removal. I had started on my ankle probably like 5 years ago. It was very painful for me, but I feel like our conversation, you had reassured me that there have been advancements in it and that it should be a bit more comfortable. So I don't really want to have any expectations. And I think what people are really are so funny about, they're like, oh my God, I want to get this removed, but this is going to hurt. Everything in life hurts. Have you ever had your heart broken? Like, everything in life hurts. What are you going to suffer for? So I think for me, it's like, you kind of have to pick. So for me, I'm open. My future self doesn't want these tattoos anymore. I'm just going in a different direction. So I am choosing Removery. I'm choosing tattoo removal. Like, this is my choice, because it's like you're either going to suffer by making the sacrifice, or you're going to suffer because you're not sacrificing.
Earlier, we were talking about when you got tattoos, you said that it was a way for you to feel something.
Yeah.
You're going to feel tattoo removal. Do you think you're going to have a similar kind of, we'll call it an endorphin rush or kind of release when you go through this, even though it's a much shorter period of time?
Yeah, because I feel like I can let go. Like, I don't have to hang on to it anymore. And I think that's where, with my journey, with my tattoos, with whatever, people want me to hang on to my past. I don't have to. At any point in time, you can change the direction of your pen.
What made you look into starting tattoo removal again?
I would say, again, it was easy for me to want to cover because I was covering things that just didn't align with me anymore. And I would say that when I reverted to Islam, August 5th of 2024, I kind of started the journey of like, what does my dream self look like? And when I think about like my husband, unwrapping me because I am a gift, what would I want him to see? What would I feel confident, showing? So I think that is, things that I thought about. Like, I would be comfortable in my skin, and I also want to be a gift to my husband.
Do you think, as an extremely confident woman, that the process of removal is going to just continue along with your confidence and help you?
Yeah, because it's like now when it's just me and I'm looking in the mirror, I can really love what I see. Because I can say right now that I'm not the happiest with tattoos I made and I got 7, 8, 10 years ago, so
Yeah.
I feel like I get to set myself free.
Would you say that transformation is normal? The evolution of your own soul is kind of normal?
I think that's the goal. Whatever you believe in, your soul always wants to evolve. And the only thing constant in life is change. So when people have such an opinion about things changing, things are always ever changing. It's just like, are you changing along with them?
It's amazing. You are the first person, the war leader, to get a tattoo. I assume you're the first person in your social circle to go through a removal.
Yes.
What do your friends and family say about it?
The people that I do share that with, because again, like, I'm very much, if I share with you, it's just because I want to, not because you're entitled to know, or I'm looking for feedback. Because I'm a war leader, right? I don't get any feedback. We charge at dawn. But yeah, I think people are happy for me because it's something that's going to make me happy.
Is it safe to say that you're done with tattoos?
Oh, yeah. This is it. I said I might keep 2 of them just because it's like they are a part of me. There's things that are more aligned even with where I'm going. But yeah, this is it. No more needle for me.
Like fitness, this isn't an overnight journey. So this is going to take 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, depending if you go off filming again for a while or something comes up in your life. For people who are on the fence about starting because they don't want to commit because it's not a same-day satisfaction the way a tattoo is, what would you tell them about the time it takes to remove a tattoo?
Great things take time. And by not committing, you're still committing to not choosing something. So it's like you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not making a decision. And it's like, just be decisive. And I think that's why there's been such a gap. And for me, 5, 6 years when I got my first treatment on my ankle, commit to something, because it's like the longer you stall, the longer you put off your happiness ultimately. Make a commitment. My God.
Are you at all nervous about what it's going to feel like now compared to 5 years ago?
Nervousness is just excitement without knowing the outcome. So yeah, of course I'm nervous, but this is the step for me in my right direction into like my new life. It's a new beginning for me.
You had an opportunity to just come in like a normal client, get treated, walk in and walk out, but you wanted to share your story.
Yeah.
Why is it so important to share your story, and why would somebody be interested in hearing it?
Well, whatever you believe in, God, creator, source, universe, I was gifted a platform. I was gifted a voice. I speak eloquently. I've been gifted a lot of wisdom. So for me, it is my duty to share the things that have been shared with me, because this wisdom is a privilege. And I feel like, a lot of people have had their opinions about me, but if I can do it, if I can be in hijab, if I can go through tattoo removal, then so can you. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think I'm one of the worst people in the world. And I feel like I'm showing that, hey, like, I can commit. I can do it. Why can't you?
So who you were and who you're going to be are two very different women. What are you most looking forward to the woman that you're going to meet tomorrow?
I think just showing that it can be done, because my life, where I started, even all the stuff in between to now, I mean, it's polar opposite. People are shocked that I went from one extreme to the next, but it is just that simple. Like, overnight, you can change your mind, you can change your life. So I think for me, it's just really seeing where this evolution takes me and really stepping into my power ultimately.
But
Yeah.
outside of maybe teaching at a later date, what other professional things are on your horizon? What would your goals be?
Honestly, I'm having a conversation with you right now. That's it. Like, outside of this moment, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's for me. I think so much has changed in my life. Social media has changed a lot. The money's changed a lot with it. And I only want the things that want me. So I'm never forcing anything. Even with the show that I just did, I'm not attached to anything, because God cuts my checks. So what that looks like, what my goals are, I don't really know. I don't know what my voice will be used for, what my platform will be used for. All I know is that I want to just show up authentically and help people along the way.
So by you bringing your authentic self and sharing authentic moments, I think that tells a more real story, which is very cliche to say, because everything is scripted. I mean, everything back to the original Real World was scripted.
Yeah.
So knowing that you're going into this with this being both tattoo removal and life, kind of with an open heart and open eyes, is really kind of a paramount. It's a new kind of way of looking at things. Because everybody dreams of, I want to travel the world. I want to learn how to speak another language. I want to this. I want to have this car. You're here now, which is a very old saying, be here now. That's amazing.
And I feel like, too, there's a lot of people who talk and there are other people who do. There's talkers and there's doers. So I just feel like you got to figure out which one you are. So I don't like to yap too much. I just like to let my actions speak for me. And that's why I'm here today. I am nervous, but that just means I'm excited because I don't know what to expect. There's new technology. And above all else, I'm willing to go the distance to be able to step into my dream self. And my dream self, it does look physically different.
I'm appreciative that you're open enough to share your journey with people, because it's intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And as far as intimidation goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think tattoo removal is going to fall today?
I think it's a 10. I think people are highly intimidated by it. I think no matter how people sometimes explain it, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, it was a 5 for me, but I have a high pain tolerance. Other people are like, I have a high pain tolerance and it was an 8 for me. So I think it's just one of those things where, again, you have to commit to something, and life hurts. Because everything in life hurts.
Amazing. And when we started this conversation, you also said you're an author.
Yes, I released a book in 2018.
What was it on?
It was a book about 7 men, 7 relationships that were pivotal to my growth. And, it's interesting because I'm a half naked lover. And because I am not hijabi, people are like, take that link down. Sister, you're in a hijab. But my past explains my present circumstances. And that piece of me, she comes with me. She doesn't get demonized. She doesn't get cast into the shadows, just like with my tattoos. Like, I'm allowed to evolve and not demonize what once was, because what I did then and what worked for me then brought me to my now. So no, my book absolutely changed my life. It's not coming down. And if people want to know more even about how I got to this point, there are a lot of gems in that book that I shared.
Is there another book in the future?
I keep an open mind. I like to write. I think as I've been finding my footing and my rhythm, even just with my newfound faith.
How can people find you?
You can find me on, I only have 2 social media platforms. On my Instagram, at Bundle of Brittany, and TikTok, the Brittany Renner. Those are like the 2 big daddies. That's where I post all my stuff.